Hello, Bruce Locklear here, and welcome to this edition of eBuzz, the Edina communication of parent counsel to you regarding happenings at Edina High School. We have a fact-filled session this month, beginning with Jeannie Brown, one of our counselors, talking about all the things that juniors need to do in order to begin thinking about college for next year. Thank you, and please enjoy this episode.
The best time, I think, for juniors to go to colleges is definitely right now, and breaks are great if it's on our break, but not the school's break. And the reason for that is you want to see the types of kids that are there. You want to see what the campus is like, what it's buzzing around.
School's out of session for most of the kids. It's a wonderful time for juniors to get a feel for what a college campus looks like in the wintertime, and get a general overall feeling of what the school's layout is.
Especially if you go to a small school and you go when there are no kids, you don't really get the full view on what it is like for a small school, and you end up hating small schools even if you would really like it in the first place. Best days are Fridays, because then you know you have the weekend, so for traveling purposes it's really good. So if you do need to miss school, Fridays are probably a good day to go. There's a pre-arranged form, yes, so you want a couple days, it's about a week, I'd say a week, before you want to fill out the form, give your teacher sign it. You turn it in, you go on your college visit, and then you have to bring something back. So it could be like a parking pass, a business card, a receipt from the bookstore if you buy a sweatshirt, something to prove that you were there, and then you're excused. Grades. Junior year is probably the hardest academically because of just the types of classes you guys are taking. But I think grades, GPA is huge, because this is after the end of junior year. Your grade, that's your GPA that you use to apply to colleges. So that would be probably the most important thing. And the second thing is definitely making sure you're taking those tests, the ACT, SATs, in the appropriate time so that you have time to study.
First and foremost are the grades. There's nothing more important for juniors to be focused on is academically continuing, if they're doing well, performing at a high level. If they're struggling a little bit, now's the time to pick their grades up. But colleges are focused on academic performance over an extended period of time. So their grades are the most important thing. The other things that juniors should be doing right now, registering for some of the standardized tests that they should be taking either later in the wintertime or early in the spring. The ACT tests coming up, the SAT tests. I know that I've got some juniors that maybe have already taken a standardized test. If they haven't, that's perfectly fine. We want them to get at least one of them done. We are going to be meeting with all of our juniors coming up right at the end of first semester, early second semester, the first weeks of February. All juniors are going to be meeting with their counselors in small groups to go over all the information that we have. Our website is chock full of information for juniors, and it's broken down by grades, sophomores, juniors, and seniors in regards to what they can be doing, what forms that are out there, but they're going to get a good sense of what's expected of them when we meet with them early in February.
Now, the next part of the tape will be an interview with our student council around Armful of Love and the success that program had at our school, as well as a fun-filled pep fest that was held during Sadies week.
We did the project of Armful of Love for our holiday fundraiser this year. And we raised, as a school, we raised about $5,000. The student council on their own raised about $2,000, so we had about $7,000 to help 93 people in the metro area from 25 families have a better holiday season.
Our school goal also was $7,000, so reaching that is especially huge, especially for student council and the school. It just kind of means that everybody pitched in, did their part.
In the end, we were able to provide a better holiday season for a lot of people, and it was fun to go get all the gifts and everything, so that was fun.
I'm Anna Kottman.
And I'm Regan Wagner.
And we're on the Sadies Week group this year for Sadies. Basically, our theme was dancing through the decades, or grooving through the decades, and it was every day we progressed through the decades. We started on Monday with the 60s, and then Tuesday 70s, Wednesday 80s, Thursday 90s, and then Friday was kind of like today, or kind of like a mix of all of it.
For the Pep Fest there was Pac-Man, and there's a jump rope team.
the other things that we've been working on for some time this year is an evaluation of the Edina Scholar Program. And the recommendation that is going to the Board of Teaching and Learning Subcommittee for our Edina Public Schools is a recommendation to move the Edina Scholar Program to a continuation of the 10.5 GPA, but to include both weighted and unweighted grades. This has been a process that has been under evaluation for probably the last year, and it has gone through several groups, and we have landed on a decision now, and we are excited to move ahead. The final decision to be rendered around this concept is the timeline of implementation, but there will be more to come on that. Again, thank you so much for joining this episode of eBuzz, the Edina Parent Council Communication Forum. Make it a great month.